Hi, Brenda. I was thinking that it would be easier for me to just create a quick video to kind of show you what it is that I'm talking about as far as your citations go. So if you're not using a citation tool like Noodle Tools to format your citations, then it's going to be up to you to make sure that you are properly formatting them. So I went ahead and did the first couple of these. So the way that you have this formatted, this is APA format, and we're using MLA in this class. And there's a couple of key differences. One of them being MLA writes out the full first name. That is immediately followed by, if you're doing a book like this one, immediately followed by the book title that is in italics, and all of the important words in the titles are capitalized. As you can see, APA puts the year right after the author, and then only proper nouns in the first word are capitalized. So those are going to be some of the key differences. Additionally, you're missing the hanging indents. And the way that you would do this, and again, if you're using a tool like Noodle Tools, it's already going to automatically format it for you. But if you're not, then you need to put the hanging indent in there. So the way that you would do that is if you highlight the citation, and then if you just right click within the highlight, this little box will pop up, and then come down here and just hit paragraph. Okay, and then right here in the middle, you'll see where it says indentation, and then over here it says special. And if you hit this drop down box, you can just hit hanging. And while you're here, one of the things that you should do is Word sometimes likes to put extra spacing on the page. So if you just click this little box, it'll make sure that it takes that spacing out. And then if you just hit OK, it will automatically do that hanging indent for that first line is flush with the left margin, and then all subsequent lines have that 0.5-inch hanging indent. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a comment with a link to this website that shows you how to do this. So if you need to see it again, it'll be right here in this comment. Okay, so you can find this website. So down here, same thing. This is also a book, so it needs to be an MLA format, and this is what it would look like in MLA format. One of the other things that I was talking to you about was, make sure you're running your writing through Grammarly. You've got some typos and some kind of things going on here. And if you run this through Grammarly, it will catch some of this, because you want to make sure everything you're submitting is has been carefully proofread and is free of any grammatical errors. Okay, so down here, this one was confusing to me because this one looks like it's the same source as the one above. It's just maybe this is the more updated version. I suppose it's possible that this version would have some different stuff in it that you would be using, but kind of be careful about what that will look like. And if you ended up using both of these in your paper, you're going to have to indicate in your in-text citation what that's going to look like. So if you're going to do that, let me know so I can kind of talk you through how you would do that. Okay, so this one I wanted to show you, if you're not using the tool like Noodle Tools to create your citations, like how can you quickly reformat these? So what I did is I just copied the article title, and then I came up here and went to Google Scholar. And if you go to Google Scholar, and this might be where you found your sources, and if you did, then you're familiar with the source. But Google Scholar does help you with citations, and so I was looking for the version that you were using, and I'm thinking that this one might be it. So you want to find the source directly that you were citing from, and then let me double check that. So D'Angelo 2018, that is not the right. Okay, so this is the book that you are citing, so D'Angelo 2018. If you come down here and you see here where it says cite, if you click on this, it will pop up and it will show you, it has it cited in all of the different citation styles. And what you want is this one. So if you just copy from here and you paste it into your paper, this is still not going to be 100% properly formatted, so you are going to have to do some work here and double check it. So right off the bat, it's already not the right font and size, so you're going to want to adjust that. It needs to be Times New Roman, and it needs to be 12 points. Okay, and I'm making them red just to kind of point out to you the difference. This one doesn't have this one actually has some issues. So with books, the entire book title should be italicized. So some of them already do that and some of them don't, but you'll have to make sure that it's in there like that. This is not a great example because it actually is incorrect, but we'll go ahead and fix this one and then we'll look at another one. So you've got the publisher up there, but this one did not have it. So we need to type that in, and it goes before the year. And then what you'll often see here is that the important words in the titles are not capitalized. So you're going to have to go in and capitalize those important words. So examples of unimportant words are like the and things like that. But these other words, these would be considered important words in the titles, so you do need to capitalize them, okay? And again, if you're using a tool, it will do that for you automatically, but this one is not, so we need to make sure that we're going through and double checking the formatting of all of these because it is not coming up exactly how it's supposed to be. And you're the one who's kind of ultimately responsible for making sure that they are correct. So again, I can't emphasize enough how much easier it would be if you were using Noodle Tools. You could just go and drop all of this information in there and it will format it for you. But if you're choosing not to do that, then you need to make sure that you are properly formatting all of this. Okay? So let me look and see if I can find one that's a better. So structural racism and health inequities. It looks like you used okay, so let me copy this one and see if we can find a better citation for this one. Let's see here. So this one. Okay, so this book cites, and then I'm going to, all right, sorry about that interruption. Okay, so you would just copy from here. This one looks like it's pretty good. And then go into your paper. You could paste it directly in there. Well, it didn't copy. So let me try that again. Copy. Go into your paper. Okay, and again, Times New Roman, 12 points. Okay, and then let's look at this. So we need the hanging indent, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one now. Okay, so we've got two authors. We've got the article title, which is in quotations, which is correct. So if you have a book, the book title would be italicized because that's the source. If you're doing like a journal article like this, the article title should be in quotations. And again, all of the important words need to be capitalized. So I'm going to go in and do that. And you're welcome to just, use these that I'm doing for you here, but make sure that they're not red because your final paper should not be red. All right, so I've capitalized all the important words. Now this is the source title. This is the name of the journal, so it should be in italics, so that's good. But again, I need to capitalize these important words. So you just need to go through your citations and make sure that everything is formatted properly. And it's like Google Scholar does a really good job for the most part of making sure that those are correct. But as you just saw, it doesn't do it for all of them. So you have to double check everything to make sure that it is correct. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at with the citations. As a reminder with this one, because there's two authors, why is that not working? You will, the in-text citation for this, you want to include both authors' names. So the in-text citation for this one would be G. Ann Ford. And then whatever page you got that information from. So the page range for this one is 115 to 132. So if you got it from 120, then you would put 120 and then close the parentheses at the end. Okay. Your annotation paragraphs are okay. They're a little short. Just as a reminder, you're supposed to do a summary of the article. That can be a single sentence. It's often more than a single sentence. The more kind of you put in there, the easier, the more that this tool is going to benefit you later. You're also supposed to do an analysis of credibility. Like something like this, he speaks on colorblind racism, which has been an issue for many decades. I don't know how that actually makes the source credible. Like, how do you know that this source is credible? Just because that is a topic that has been around for a long time doesn't mean that this author knew what they were talking about. So I want you to dig a little bit deeper as far as the analysis of credibility. And then you also, in a lot of these paragraphs, seem to be missing that discussion of usefulness. Is this source going to be useful to you in your paper? Why or why not? And that can be a single sentence, but just that's going to be a cue for you later when you're drafting your paper. Like, how was this a good source? Do you need to spend time on it, or should you just like bypass it entirely? So this was a slightly longer video than I intended, but I wanted to make sure that you got information. So if you still have questions on any of this, please let me know, and I'm happy to help. Okay, bye.